say welcome, thank you all for coming here tonight. This is our PHA meeting, our People's Health Alliance, and I think by now you've all heard me monotonously ramble on about the People's Health Alliance and what we do and all the rest of it. What has happened this spring, which is very exciting for us, is we seem to have evolved into this sort of wonderful situation of being in a position to invite, be introduced to, thank you Virginie, merci for tonight, introducing us to Althea, who's driven down from London, by the way, to be with us tonight. And thank you so much. Just so that everybody knows, we will be talking until around 8 o'clock, whenever you're comfortable to finish.
Sorry.
At that stage.
Just turning my phone back on so I can do some time.
Thank you. Oh, brilliant! Thank you. And at that time, we will stop the talk. We'll have questions, discussions, and you'll obviously conduct it as you wish, going along with you want questions as we go. And then by 8:15, we will be tidying up and being ready to be out of here by 8:30, because that's the deal. So, without further ado,
thank you so much. I just want to say thank you so much for Rosanne for inviting me here to this amazing place of Glastonbury and to the PHA hub in Glastonbury. I've heard of the PHA for quite a while, and I actually joined one in Twickenham as well. But I see that you've got one of the best hubs going that I see, because you're organised and put on lots of talks and things. And I actually came down to the Vobes events, and Sandy, Clive de Carl. Did any of you go to that one?
Yes.
It was pretty cool, wasn't it? It was the buzz. It was really cool. So I'm feeling very honoured that I've been invited too. And why am I here? Is to show you and talk to you about the PainFree method, which I'm founder and creator of the PainFree method. And my calling is to put it out there to the world, because it's something very, very special. It's something that has been phenomenal of changing people's lives from, I regularly get people who are in a suicidal state to be pain-free and completely pain-free, never coming back and getting their lives back. And I feel also very, very honoured to be in that position in life and sharing my skill and seeing that happen for people, because what's better, right? It's just phenomenal. Okay, so do we have any therapists? We have some therapists, I know, therapists, natural health people here? Everybody. Everyone, so everyone's into natural health and things. So I'm guessing you know about the Rockefeller story, about what's going on with Rockefeller? The Rockefeller in medicine. Do you know about Rockefeller business and medicine? Do blank face a little bit. How do we normally, when we get something going wrong with us, what normally happens? Where do we normally go? Where do we reach for help? What do we do? I'm guessing lots of you do lots of natural things, I'm guessing. But typically, in the West, we are told to go to doctors. We're driven to the doctors, aren't we? We're told that's what you do. Don't be silly, don't mess around, never mind about dandelions and whatever else, go to the doctor, don't be silly. Isn't it? That's the way that we're taught in the West. And unless you know, unless you're really, you've learned about natural ways and you're a practitioner, but even then, even if you're a practitioner, still that surge to go to the doctor is pretty deep-rooted. Me too. When I was a kid, I was sent to the doctor for mumps and measles, for antibiotics, and had TCP and Germaline and Savlon, and that's what you did, and then you got on with your life. But going down this route, the only things we're ever offered are medication or operations. And if you want to look into the Rockefeller Foundation and John Rockefeller, you'll understand where the Western medicine comes from. Western medicine is only about 180 at the very, very most years old, whereas natural medicine, reflexology, shiatsu, massage is thousands and thousands and thousands of years old, and it comes from how we function. It comes from the natural balance of our bodies, about tuning in to you, about listening to your signals, and doing reflexology, massage, whatever, from that point. So actually, healing happens within the body. All healing happens within ourselves. It's not outside of ourselves. But we're taught to go to the doctor, to put that focus, that power outside of ourselves, to let go of our power, to give it over to, we hope, somebody highly trained and knows what they're doing, but that doesn't happen. I'm going to talk about where the PainFree method comes from, and how does it work, and what blocks our healing, what stops our healing. So this is the Western way, and it might take months or years to go down that line because they give us tests and investigations and maybe send you to a specialist, maybe operations, and you might be years and years and years suffering the original thing, and there may be lots more things, and you're never really in a fabulous, fantastic state. Or am I wrong? Is that right or wrong? What's your? That's what happens, isn't it? Yeah, we can spend months and years on all these tests and things, but healing is immediate. It's right now. It only happens in a moment. It happens right now.
Sorry, could
Yeah.
I just ask if you could have some of the lights on, if that's all right?
Sure.
It's very, something
Is it too much?
incredibly...
Yeah, of course.
Right, if that's okay with you and everybody else.
Absolutely.
Meaning, oh, I think that's better.
Is that good?
Thanks.
Calm, yeah. Is that good?
What do we
Well,
think? I tried it before, but you wanted the lights
Well,
on, didn't you?
I don't mind if it's people are
Try that and see
comfortable.
what people want.
Yeah, I don't mind.
No, that's a bit
That's
too much. That's too much.
Is that good, everybody?
Yeah.
That's good.
The vote is
Okay,
yes.
thank you. Sorry to interrupt.
Wonderful. Okay, so that's the Western way that we're taught, and it doesn't work because we go on for months and years, and maybe or maybe not we get treated. These are treatments. This is a treatment system, and more than that, it's a business. And the business is give you drugs and operations and continue. But healing is immediate. Healing is automatic. When you do the right things in the right environment, your body automatically responds. Doesn't it? Your body automatically heals when you do the right things. And when you cut yourself, your body automatically starts healing. It doesn't take months or years. It's immediate, isn't it?
Mm.
It's immediate. And depending on how poorly or well you are, it's going to fix very quickly, or it might take a long time, but it's going to fix, and your body is always trying to fix it. And more than that, your body is, you have a balancing system in you, and it's always telling you how to be in a good feeling place, or a good place, a healthy place, 100% of the time. Like when you're hungry, you feel hunger, you get those hunger messages. You want to scratch your head, or you're hot, you need to get cooled down, and you're tired, you need to go to bed. So we have these messages 24/7, don't we? We have these natural body signals, and this is your alarm system, this is your guidance. As some of you, it seems you're nodding, so you know that this is your guidance to be well and happy, and happy you. So if that's the case, if healing is immediate and it just takes doing the right actions and having the right circumstances, and healing is immediate, how come we suffer for years? And even if we know natural things, even if we try everything, mainstream or natural, that we don't get well, we don't improve. What's going on there? Do you have an idea? You do. Certainly. So what kind of things will block your healing? Well, firstly, perhaps you don't know. I mean, you're a practitioner and you seem to be very learned, but most of us don't know. We know we've got to eat well, we know we mustn't get too hot, too cold, be with the right people, stay out of pollution and all these kind of things. And we may or may not do these things. That's, we always have free will. That's the number one core rule in life. We have free will. These messages are all the time, but we might ignore all our messages for various reasons. But what blocks our healing, perhaps we don't know. Perhaps we don't know what to do. We know we want something natural maybe, or not. And we tried this, we try that, but we're just discovering and learning. And so it might be just lack of knowledge through no fault of your own, you just don't know. It might be a massive key of why we don't heal is because there's story in there. So I'm going to go and talk a little bit deeper about this, what does that mean? So when we have a physical condition, like a backache or something, it's not just backache, it's also, you're not just a physical backache, you're also everything else that you are, all other physical parts, your thoughts, who you are, how you live, what's your everyday life. You're multifaceted, aren't you? You're multiple layers of not just your backache or whatever you've come here for and then to learn about for yourself, but you're multifaceted. So it needs to be to heal. You need to be connecting to all parts, And so what blocks us? So it might be a story in there. So your back pain. Your body will tell you exactly what the problem is. So if you have a back pain, for example, so many people have back pain, so I just pick back pain. What does a back do?
Supports you.
It supports, doesn't it? It's a structure. It protects the spinal cord. It protects all the nerves that go off it. It allows you to move. It allows you to bend. So support. So when you have back problems, your body is just telling you what's on the tin. And if you describe your problem, then you're also describing what the actual origins are. And it's never the physical thing, it's never the physical condition. Of course, that back pain or whatever you're struggling with is going to cause you problems, but that's not the problem. So I'm going to go into, what are the right actions to heal. So you know that the Western way, it doesn't really work. You just months and years, and it's a business. It's not healing. It's not tuning into who are you. What have you been through? What's your emotions? What do you live every day? What's your belief systems? It completely bypasses what we are. And what I know about healing is that you must tune in and listen like a investigator into what's going on with you. So what I'd love you to do, I've given you a piece of paper there, and what I'd love you to do is just to write down thing you want to get rid of or problem you have that you want to clear. And I'm going to show you how to start clearing it today on this little talk. Even if it's been forever you've had it, or you've tried everything, or you don't think it's possible, or there's no cure. What's lovely about the body is that it doesn't care what you think and what you believe or what you've been through, or traumas or accidents or your belief systems. It doesn't care, it just functions. So when you eat, your body starts digesting, it just functions. And so if you write at the top there, thing you want to get rid of, and underneath that thing, and it might be 50 things, especially if you've had it forever, you're likely to have many signals and messages, I call them, over the years. You might have started off with, perhaps you had an operation, it went wrong, or perhaps you had traumas as a child, or it started with something, and then it tends to multiply because that's what happens. So if you write down the thing you want to get rid of, and then underneath that, describe it. Describe how it makes you feel, what it hurts, it's uncomfortable, it drives me nuts, it's sore, it burns. If you write the description underneath it, and I'm going to show you how quickly this happens. And while you're doing that, while you're doing your story, I want to talk to you about where this comes from, the PainFree methods. And as you can see, and as some of you, it looks like, I don't know you all, but you know that about natural health it looks like to me, and that you have to tune into you. So when I was a little girl, I was abused. And I came from a middle-class military family. So as a little girl, I had to cope with the situation, and there was no place to express. There was no place to be supported or to be helped by. It wasn't my parents' fault. It was just the way things are. Just life happens, doesn't it? Stuff happens. But as a little girl, I was a child. I didn't know how to deal with it. So what I experienced is that you shut up and that you don't express. So I was coming down here, I was thinking, shall I say this or not? But this is a very important, sharing the story with you is important because it just lays the ground why the whole method works and why it's so successful. I've had people from full body arthritis, bedridden, on the floor, bedridden, and pain-free in 5 weeks. I've had people with trigeminal nerve pain, suicidal nerve pain, and within the first few weeks, pain never comes back, ever comes back. And this is just multiple stories like this. It's extremely effective. So there I was, a little girl, and I experienced that no one will listen to you, and there's nothing to say, and you just shut up and get on with life. You just grow up. That's what you do. Military family, middle class, and just get on with it. So that's what I did. But where do those feelings go? Where does that memory, where does those experiences in my head, where does it go? And of course, the situation itself, we all have different stories. The situation itself has ramifications that I'll just leave you to imagine. But growing up into an adult world, whatever childhood you had, that affects you as an adult. Whatever happened to you, even if it's all lovely, it still affects you all your life. So when I was a teenager, I became severely bulimic for about 10 years. And I didn't know it at the time, but I think looking back, I was stuffing down my feelings because there was nowhere to express. There was nothing but through the physical. And I became heavily bulimic. And so there I had a symptom, a condition, a thing. So it could have been a physical thing. It could have been, we suffer from all sorts of things. But look what was happening. I was some kind of stuffing down feelings through stuffing down physical food. Nowhere to talk, but then I stuffed it through my mouth. So it's all, can you see, it's all patterns and makes sense. It's all understandable, isn't it, when you know the bigger picture? And I tried to do all sorts of things. I tried controlling myself. I tried to get a grip. I tried to do severe diets. I tried to embarrass myself by telling my nearest and dearest. And nothing worked. But after 10 years, I came to a moment that I envisaged myself in the future. And I saw myself as an old lady chucking up in the loo. And I just thought, no, that's not going to happen. So that moment was the moment of change, moment of healing for me. And when I take people on the program which I run, or when I teach people how to be pain-free or symptom-free or condition-free, I always say, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you open? Because there are plenty of people who are not. And for whatever reason, they're going to continue another whatever. But you have to be, in my understanding of healing, is that you have to be ready and open. You have to be. You couldn't have dragged me off in that 10 years' time. I had to go through the process of whatever it was, and live life or whatever that I was doing. It wasn't until I envisaged it within myself. Healing is always within. It's always within. All your guidance is within. And even if you don't know, you can just ask yourself, what do I need to do now? What's the best choice for me? How can I help myself right now? Your information is always within, and it always gives you the best answer. So, that was the moment of change. And I came across Louise Hay. Did you know Louise Hay?
Yes.
So I did her mirror work. I came across mirror work and self-love. And that was the beginning of action to be to start healing. So, it was a long story, a long time for me, because my whole family way was don't talk about it. So I had that barrier all my life. And even now, I'm writing a book currently, which is going to be out soon. Very exciting. And I feel very nervous to share my story, but I've been encouraged to share it because it's very significant to show you that it's not just a physical thing. You don't have a physical thing. That's just the message. It's a reflector of what's within. So that's why, you've written down your description of your thing. That's what it's really about. It's not the physical thing. So in the Western way, we're taught to get rid of it, to suppress it with drugs, to try not to think about it, to... one of my clients, she said to me, she showed me a leaflet from the NHS, and she said, Althea, you seem to be saying to the opposite of the NHS. And I said, well, yes, I am. And they did, on the leaflet, it was all like, don't think about it, distract yourself, suppress it. And to me, that's the opposite. But then when you know the Rockefeller story, you'll understand it makes complete sense. But so what is healing? Healing is listening to your signals. It's tuning into what's going on with you. It's responding to your needs when you need to sit down and go out or have food or whatever. Your signals are there always as your best buddy, as your best friend to guide you. But then we choose whether to listen or not. So why do we choose not to listen or not? So maybe you had something like me, you had a story that makes you behave in a certain way. So there's a whole layer of that psychology, that behaviour, that memories, that you can't heal. I couldn't become not bulimic. I had to go through the process of it. So I think sometimes we suffer things because we maybe we don't consciously know, like I didn't, I sort of did, I didn't, but that we don't know what's creating it, but we carry on. So we carry on suffering. But what I've noticed in life, and I'm 56 now, is that when you're good and ready, you're going to heal. It's always there for you. The balancing state is the natural form that it will always guide you back, gently, gently, gently. And through my life, I was quite a toughie. I was tough and got out there and I travelled the world and I did stuff. I did a lot of physical, I became an aerobics instructor and I became a therapist and physical working with people. So very physical out there in the world. But so when you're good and ready, life will always, every single day, will show you how to be well. But you might not listen, and it's okay. Maybe you're not ready for whatever reason. Maybe you've got to learn stuff or go through stuff. But when you're good and ready, healing reveals itself to you, and all you have to do is follow your inner signals. So how do you do it then? How do you do it? So I became a therapist in my early 20s. So I've been a therapist, always into physical body things. You know, my first job was aerobics instructor and shiatsu and reflexology and acupressure and Chinese massage. I told you I was busy over the years. And then I got to about 30 and I stopped studying. And in my private life, sometimes we need a bit of a kick to wake up, to shift off the wrong track. And although you know that your track is fine, everything's all right, but it's not you, it's not you like this. So sometimes we won't change. So life will make us change, which is so beautiful. You know, whether it's God or balance or nature or whatever, however this all is, whatever is all this, it just nudges you because it's not okay to be out of, I call it out of alignment, not happy, in a horrible place, with a difficult relationship, not happy with yourself, with physical problems. We won't tolerate it. We won't tolerate it. We'll look for answers forever until you find peace and harmony within yourself, because that's not our natural state, this horrible place. I mean, look what's happened over COVID. We've had all this, whatever you think about it, it's fired up people to create something new, to investigate, to look into, to question, to go within. I found. I noticed people go within. Remember when we all got locked down, and I was in lots of women's groups and healing groups and things, and I found that people were freaking out because they were suddenly faced with their partner, with their kids, with their aloneness, with themselves, with their feelings. And looking back, I think that was a really good thing, healing-wise, because suddenly, you know, you stopped doing 9 to 5, running around like nutters and paying the bills, chasing the bills. Then we were just open and everything stopped, didn't it? And I thought that was a really wonderful healing time, actually. And look at us here in the PHA and multiple groups and people around the world wanting something better. And I feel that calling too. That's part of why I'm here. So, where are we going from there? So we're taught this way, but it doesn't work. So what does work is we tune into ourselves. So what I have to do is to have a look at that description And you don't have to share anything unless you want to. Does it sort of, is it relevant to you? Is it pinging ahas for you? When you look at your description, what's that all about? Never mind the problem that you want to get rid of. What's that description? Have a look at that description. What does it describe for you? What's it talking about to you? What's that in your life? What's that in your feelings? What's that in your inner worlds or your experiences? What's that? And make sure you use the exact same words, the very same thing. I just say last bit about how this was formed, the PainFree method. So, of course, it's the inner journey and realizations and things. And I became a natural therapist and doing all these amazing things. But I got to about 30 and I stopped studying at that point. And in my private life, I was dumped. You're hearing it all tonight. And it was some kind of crack in my life because I thought I was going to marry this fella, and that's what you're supposed to do, isn't it? You find a nice guy and then you have kids and off you go and the world goes forward. And that didn't happen. So I was devastated, and I was travelling at the time, and I came back home to England. My treatments at this time became unbelievably extraordinary. I opened up, some kind of opening up. All my senses, I'm a sensitive person anyway, but I became an ultra-sensitive, open person. I started to see through bodies and see past lives, and I touched people. I'd see I could see them reacting to me and their reactions and feelings and thoughts, and I could see when they didn't want to go to something, or when they travelled into their journeys thing, or I just saw this inner lives. And I started to hear spirits, and all sorts of extraordinary things happened. And the treatments I did on people were all about aligning and bringing to the centre. But when I had this awakening, I call it epiphany, this kick in life, I got dumped, this is my kick. And I think it happens to most people, it seems to be, that if you don't tune into you and follow your true calling, then you will get a kick somehow. I remember a guy coming to the clinic, and he was a rugby player, big burly chap, but he was devastated, he was ruined because he damaged his shoulder, and he'd had operations and things and tried to correct it, but his career was over. Now this guy had done everything in his life to train to be a rugby player since a little boy. He knew nothing else, nothing. So as I see it, this is life saying, enough of that, change. And the fact that he was there having treatments tells me that he's starting to open, and that's what can happen for us. So, so I got done, and I got this opening of sensitivity came in, and that's when the epiphany happened. That's when I realised, oh my gosh, I just got it. That's how healing works. You have to connect to you. You have to connect to you inside. You can do, that's one of the reasons why we can do all these things to our bodies. We can do natural, we can do drugs, we can do, medication, you can do all sorts of anything. You can take herbs all day long, you can meditate all day long. All of these things, or any of these things, can be very, very helpful, definitely. But none of them will change you, because it's not you. It's things you do to you. It's applied things. All of these things are applied things. So many things can definitely work, and I do advocate, obviously, all the to eat well and exercise and be happy and all the rest of it. But you have to, in amongst all that, connect to you. And if you don't, those signals are going to keep calling you, which they will all day long, every day, all day long. They'll always guide you. So that's the beginning of the PainFree method. And from that point, my treatments changed like that, chalk and cheese. And from that moment, when people used to come in the clinic, and I used to work in South London, in the clinic in South London, I used to watch them as they came in and just think, oh, what's their story? What are they all about? And they'd say something very surface, like, oh, my back hurts or something. But the moment I'd touch them, I would connect to, I'd wait. In treatments, you do these, I don't know if you know, but in treatments, you make some sort of assessment, and you just, before you start working on someone, you just get an idea how you're needed, or what's going on with them, and you kind of meet in the middle before you start. So I used to do general things, and then I'd wait. I wouldn't work on them until I found that connection with me to them, that inner spark. That got you now. That's it. That got you. I understand you. We connect, and that's when everything changed. Because from that point, you will be open. You can open to everything that you want in your life, in yourself. Yeah, but you still have to go through all that grunge, though. You know, for me it was my story stuff and emotions and behaviours, you know. I'm sure I still have a lot of those things, but as long as you stay true to your spark. And, you know, my life now, teaching the PainFree method is, I pinch myself every day. I get invited to talks all over the country, and I go on podcasts and talks and all sorts of things, and it's just, I feel true to myself, authentic now. And even I muck it out and do stupid things, and I got, you know, get stuck in traffic or whatever. It's still that drive and that passion to, my passion to share this and to teach you and to show you how it's possible to heal from anything. Nothing can stop me now. I can climb a mountain now, and it's what I'm here to do. But I couldn't have done that all the years before. I had to go through stuff. So I just want to say to you, if you are suffering things, to take heart that there's nothing wrong with you, that you are not broken. It's just stuff you're going through, and your stuff is reflecting stuff inside, and there's still nothing wrong with you. You know, even if you think there's something wrong with you, there isn't. So I'm going to show you how to get started, and if all this resonates with you, and you need some help, you want to have a talk about to have help to help you clear your thing, then I have a website here, and I have a free guide that you can start from after tonight. And also I offer a free consultation as well, so we can talk about, make sure that we're a match, that it's the right thing for you, and I can offer you what I've got. And I'll talk a little bit tonight, if you like, as well, of how I help people. But I want to get you started straight away, because healing is immediate. It doesn't take months and years. It's immediate when we're good and ready. So I want to give you the starting points of how to get healed with the PainFree method, connecting to you. So it starts with connecting to your messages, to know your signals. And all you have to do is, you can't really go wrong with this, because your hip will hurt, or you have a headache, or your signals, I call them messages, are always there. So it might be an emotional thing. Maybe you get irritable, or tired, or maybe you have traumas you've been through. Maybe it's physical, and your signals are there all day long and every day. Can't go wrong with this stuff. And the first action to get rid of it, to change, to get back into the stuff that you do want, is to describe the problem or connect with it. You don't even have to describe it even. You just sit and be present with the problem you have. Okay? So it can be physical, emotional, traumas, mental, stresses, maybe something you're attacking yourself somehow, maybe, and describe it. So has anyone had some sort of aha, or what from your description? You don't have to say what the stuff it is, but have you been enlightened by your own description of your thing? What? Yeah. What's happened for you? You don't have to say details if you don't want to, but what did you get from your descriptions?
Well, it's told me the physical symptom which I'm experiencing from childhood, really. All the descriptions relate to how I'm feeling. That's sort of the self-conscious, the lack of confidence, the anxious.
So it's kicking up feelings and senses about you. Yeah, and so, you know, you're not just physical, you're also all the emotions that a human has, a person has. So for you, for whatever reason, and you may know and you may not know, but it's kicking up all these emotions. So then you connect to what pops up. You might pop up with the emotions, like, what's your name again, sorry? Marisa. You might have emotional reaction to connecting to your physical thing. Or maybe a memory pops up, or maybe a person, people pop up, or a situation, or a circumstance, or maybe you block it. maybe you block things, and that can be a thing as well. So however you react to connecting with your thing, you'll know how you're functioning. You'll know how you react to it or what comes up. And so what I do is I lead people through connecting to what comes up. And as you connect to the stuff that comes up, you are free of it automatically, because healing happens automatically, immediately, right? This stuff is not rocket science. It's so simple. Can you imagine? I was in clinics and studying all this stuff, and I love working with, but when I had this epiphany, it was like, is that it? Is that? No, that's it. And it was like, yes, 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 yes. And my treatment's completely changed. And as I said, the treatments I've been helping people with have been, well, I know it works, so I'm just sort of sorting it out, I think. But that's probably my ego. But yeah, that's it. You just connect to what you're showing yourself. And you're showing yourself through physical thing you don't like. I call it, where are you on that side of the scale? So are you on that side of the scale or that side of the scale? Keep it really easy. Keep it really simple. And then you do the actions, and this is what I teach in the PainFree method. What are the actions you do to get rid of it? And the first is connect with it, describe it, feel it, notice it. Notice what's going on with you. Notice and respond. Respond to your signals, respond to your needs. So then you're taking action. You're doing, it's great the most important part is to notice, because half the time we can be asleep. Like when I was bulimic, I was in some kind of zone for 10 years. I was not going to, that's what I lived, that's what I experienced for 10 years. So it's some kind of a sleep. And that's okay, it's life, isn't it? Things happen. But when you're ready and open and you want to change things, you want to change that headache, that constant backache, that keep attracting the wrong relationships thing, or when you have thing you don't want and you think, well, that would be nice to get rid of, thanks. All you have to do is start connecting with it. That's the essence of the PainFree method. That's the key of it. And I take you through the process of going from pain to pain-free, which can be a journey. It's a journey. And, I've taken a lifetime to go through my stuff. It might take a lifetime. But once you know what the actions are, you're on a winning formula, when you know what that potion is. And what's the potion? It's you. It's tuning into you, and you're always there. How great is that? You're always there. Your signals are always there, 100% of the time. 2 in the morning or 3 at night or whatever. Whatever you go through, your signals are always there. And so that's what I teach. It's a 3-step process to pain-free, symptom, condition-free. And the first step is to get rid of it. And the first stage is a noticing your problem, that it's a thing you don't like, and start describing it. And as you do that, you're already in a healing state. I call it like alignment. Your problem is like a separation. Pain is like a separation. It's a thing you don't want, or thing you want to get away from, thing that's not nice for you. So what's healing is the opposite. Healing is connecting with it. It's describing it, feeling it, noticing it, being present with the problem, with the emotion, with I'm not saying it's easy. It's there. Your problems are there for a reason, and so it can be extremely challenging. It might be you don't want to go there for 10 years. You might be like me, and it might be really, really triggering. Maybe it triggers all sorts of behaviours or connections with people or whatever. So it can be really challenging. So I take people through a 90-day program from pain to pain-free, symptom to symptom-free. And in that time, you learn the stuff which is quick and easy. It's very straightforward. It's all based on how we naturally react. So it all makes sense. It's all easy. But Virginia went through my program. And did you? It all makes sense, doesn't it?
Can I share?
Yeah, I'd love you to. Yes, great,
Yeah,
great.
So just want to share my experience with Althea. I saw you on a podcast or interview you had, and I felt immediately drawn to contact you. Because at the time I had swollen eyes, red eyes, for the last 6 months, and I tried many things like homeopathy and concoction of different things, and nothing was helping. and I had a session with Althea, and after the session, it was gone. So my eyes came back to normal. I was blown away, and I decided to do your 90 days because I wanted to learn what you were doing, and I'm so glad you came and shared your gift, because it's a real gift. Really.
It's real, isn't it? And has it ever come back? How have your eyes these
No.
days? Does not come back at all.
Not come
Nothing
back
at all.
No.
But even if it does, you know what to do to nip it in the bud.
But
And-
it hasn't.
It hasn't. And how do these tools, these actions work? It's all from you. It works from how you naturally respond. So I love that you had that wow, because that's exactly how I felt when I discovered, when it came to me, when I had the realization. So I feel like it's giving it on. You know, my experience is giving it on. Yes.
I just want to add, because also you're the facilitator in that healing, and I think it was very important to be guided in that process, as you do, because you have so much experience and you know exactly where to guide us.
Yeah. That's it, because I've been through it, But the thing is, when it's easy for someone to observe another, it's like, when you're speaking to a best friend or something, we let them offload, because you're not in that story, you're not emotionally in that story. So it's so much easier for us to observe another. And then, I've spent 30 years working with people with the body, and but it's so easy. This stuff is super, super easy, but it's extremely easy to go off and not get the healing you want. It's very, very easy, because we have behaviours and characteristics and stuff you've been through, and behaviourisms, and I can see it straight away. So I know you want to get the results, so I like to get the results as quickly as possible. I'm quite enough weeks and months. I mean, it does take 90 days to go through the process, but really it's going through your layers. And it's, one guy said, Martin said, it was like going into a journey into him, and that's where the healing is, and that's the feeling of it. You learn the very, very easy, simple. It's like breathing. It's so simple to do, but it's so easy to go off. And that's why I do feel the same, actually, that I feel I'm there to keep you on the right track, to get the results. Because when I started the program, I used to do it for a monthly membership, and people would come in for a month and it's not working for me, and off they went. And I was like, yes, it works, but that's the most important time, to go through that dip. Because most people, when you start anything, it's all enthusiastic, do this and this. And then we naturally go into this sort of dip of some kind of resistance, or all your stuff comes up, and that's the deepest time of healing. That's where the deep shifts happen. So then I met, now it has to be a 30-day program, 90-day program, and now people are getting all sorts of results, and they're staying pain-free. So that's the main thing, you'll learn what to do from day one, very, very simply, but it's our stuff that we're unbuckling from, whatever that is. And so you might find that you have a thing that, I don't need a 90-day program. It's just I've got this and that, and I've just got a simple, I can't sleep at night simple thing. So I also run a single call every month, which is literally just the actions that get you pain-free, and start shifting it. So I want to give something across the board for all budgets, for all needs. So I run the single call where it's just nips it in the bud. And that might be enough for you. And I do have people from serious conditions, long-term serious conditions, to simple headaches, niggles, and it depends on what's right for you. For some people that call works, it's enough, that's all they need, from serious conditions. And then you might feel you need the more, take time to go through it, because there's a lot in the program, isn't there? There's a lot of lots of pieces of it, and taking you through layers of you to get to where you want to be who you want to be. What's something I want to mention? Do you have any questions? Any questions?
Can I ask a practical question? How do you work? Do you do this online, or do you do it like a Zoom, or?
Yes, all online. So
you don't need to touch people, although
No.
you prefer to.
You don't,
Because you said that when you touch somebody,
yeah.
you're able to see a lot more.
Yeah,
Can you
but
do that via Zoom?
No, I don't do any touch, so I do all hands off these days. And
Yes.
so what's more important, that you go on your journey. So I lead you to you, I reflect back to you, and I show you the actions. I would like, my intention is that you learn the stuff from me and off you run with it. And what happens with that is that people usually share with their loved ones and their partners and they automatically start teaching people around them, which is just phenomenal. That's my wish.
Mhm.
I came across, I was given this somehow, and I share it, and then it rolls on. And now I'm writing the book at the moment. It's nearly out, so that will be going further, and it's an easy, it's just a few quid to get the methods and how to do it as well. So you could read the book or come onto the program. It's all online, and I run it either private, 90-day private one-to-one calls, and then as a group as well. So different budgets or different circumstances. Some people don't want a group, they want it private. I run this single call for a quick fix and a quick nip it in the bud job. That's a monthly call I run called the PainFree Experience of the method. And then I also do a single call, so if you want to just a full-on focus, get started, know what to do, and I do a 2-week support for that one, so you have a really good start with that one. It's all private, so different options, it's different budgets, different options, but it's the same methods. What I encourage you to do is to book a consultation. Let's talk, see what you want, see what I can offer, see if we're a match. It's a free consultation too. And there's also a free guide on the website to get started as well, to understand your symptoms correctly, to start. Because the healing really, it doesn't come from the actions, it doesn't come from getting the free guide and starting, it comes from you going through your stuff and knowing how to do that with an easy 3-step process that gets you pain-free. Yeah. It's 7:30. Wonderful, thank you. What sort of things does it help? I call it anything out of alignment stuff. So I have treated people, or taught people with serious trigeminal nerve pain, which is a severe pain, suicidal pain in the face. And that was one of my first clients was Lee. You'll see her on my website. There are loads and loads of testimonials, so you can pore over the testimonials, listen to what people say and what's it like for them and everything. I like to try to make it as easy and simple and sweet as possible. Just keep it simple and sweet and easy, because we're so complex, aren't we? There's so many layers of so much stuff that healing is straightforward. It's simple. It just does what when you do the right actions, your body will respond automatically. And the only reason you don't heal is because there's stuff in there. There's resistance. It's not the right timing for you. It's representing the whatever it is. It's not easy for you to go there. So that's another reason why it's a 3-month process. It takes you through, and I guide you through the whole thing. And it's easy. There's no push. You don't have to go beyond your limits. Healing is always being in line with you. I couldn't talk to anybody about my childhood until I was 30, and that was to a dear friend, and I only just said a bit, and I just thought, God, that's the first time I've ever said anything, and then it took me very, very tiny baby steps, over the years, and even now, it's in the book now, and the whole story, and you're hearing a bit of it too, that I kept thinking, do I need to say anything? But I did an interview with one lady, and she was saying, but that's the PainFree method. It's about connecting with the stuff that's causing the problems, the reactions of that. I thought, that's it, and we empathise with each other, don't we? I thought, well, I've got to say, and feels real. So people with nerve pain, physical things, with degenerative discs. One lady came to my first life workshop, and she came in with a chair, and she had to stand everywhere. She was 2.5 hours later, she was still standing and thrilled. She had degenerated discs, lived off cocodamol for years, lived off it, and was told she couldn't even have an operation because she was too far gone. So she just lived off painkillers and had a chair. Couldn't go anywhere, couldn't go for walks, completely debilitated her life. changes your character. We were just talking a bit earlier that if you've had something a long time, it starts to bend you, doesn't it? Because you're just living with God knows what all this time, and it's just, you have no choice but to bend with it, and you become almost that symptom. But it doesn't have to be that way. And as the moment you are ready, and I just trust that, you've come to this talk, I just trust you're getting something what you needed from me, from this talk, that when you're ready and open to healing, you can do it. And it's not difficult. It's just not difficult. I had that difficult start, but gradually I went through that bulimia of trying to force and control and change and diet, and I was tough, and I did all this aerobics and thing, and it was all physical and travelling and out stuff. But gradually, as I changed, as I got older, I guess, and more thoughtful or something, it's just more gentle messages came, and I do recommend it because you can be your true self, and it just feels good. So thank you so much for listening. I hope that it gave you some inspiration, and hope that you don't have to suffer. You do not have to suffer, no matter what you're experiencing, whether it's fibromyalgia or back pain or nerve conditions or childhood trauma or emotional things or mental stress or just general negativity. I mean, I use this PainFree method, this alignment method, all the time. When I get, the other day I was feeling very disappointed. I had this sort of cloud of disappointment. I was like, I don't want to deal with it, but I know that feeling of you don't want to deal with it. I don't know if you feel that, but that's what I feel. You have a horrible emotion and you don't want to go there. So your reaction is distract yourself,
On that.
What?
Sorry, it's something that's happened to me a couple of days ago, actually. But I knew how to deal with it.
But you knew how to deal with it, so you went into action for something.
Yes. Well, I won't go fully into it, but my husband passed away 4 years ago after 56 years of marriage, and so there's that side of things. But the thing was, I'm a musician, and and there was one piece of music I knew would get it out of me. I really woke up feeling like, and so, but there's no way I wanted to go near that piano. There was no way. Anyway, I got downstairs and no breakfast. Right, get on it. So I did it, and it was one particular piece of music. Well, I got through half of it, and of course, you know how your solar plexus tightens like hell when you're in that sort of state. It just exploded, and I howled my eyes out. I was fine then. I was fine.
Needed to happen. And you allowed it.
That's right.
You allowed it.
That's it. Yes.
You recognised that you had an action to let it out.
Yes. I taught yoga for years, and I did psychotherapy and hypnotherapy as well as music. So Yeah. But nevertheless, sometimes you still can't let it out yourself. It takes some doing. Yeah.
Sometimes you need help. Sometimes you need time.
That's right.
Sometimes you just need to sit in that bog. You just gotta. Sometimes life is just grunge, isn't it? But it's going to change because it hasn't always been that way.
No.
So the high possibility it's not going to be like that forever. And then you've got actions to allow it to release. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
And then it goes, and then you're back to your lovely self again, good feelings.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I tell you, that really took some doing.
I'm sure. I'm sure. It's not always easy.
It isn't. No.
It isn't. But then but through experience, then that if you just can be with it and just let it happen and do the actions that helps you, your piano, whatever it is, you learnt that, and and then next time if it happens, because life happens, emotions are there, memories will happen.
That's right.
Yeah, and then you know what to do, and it's a good thing to do. It's that journey through that time.
It is. Oh, it is.
And you can't avoid it, because if you did avoid it, it's just going to go in. It's going to get louder. I call them messages. What happens if you ignore "I'm hungry" message? It won't be long before you're getting irritable and ratty and faint and worse and worse and worse, until we allow ourselves to respond to to our own inner guidance, or our own guidance, when you're good and ready. But we might fight it, or we might ignore it, or block it, which is completely normal too.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for listening. I hope you found that inspiring.
Can I
Yeah.
ask another question,
Yes.
please? How does it work? Well, I imagine the answer is going to be yes, because it works with everything, doesn't it? How
It's
about
alignment.
addictive behaviour?
Yeah, it's the same because how it works, the basis of how it works is connecting to the feelings, releases it. So addictive behaviour, how does it make you feel? What does that do to you? Connect to those feelings of it.
Are you talking about a realistic approach to how it's dragging you down?
It's where's dragging down in you?
Yeah.
Where is dragging down in you? Where are you experiencing dragging down? Where is dragging down in your life? What's all that about?
So that work just as well with procrastination and other sort of...
Where's procrastination in you? Connect to the procrastination in you. Yeah. So it's Catherine, one of my another client, she said the healing is like you can't think your way out of it. You have to feel your way into it. That's the experience of it. So we naturally will try to figure it out, make sense of it, write it down, try to figure it to your stuff, and that's all head stuff. That means you're out of it already. So you have to connect to the feeling of it, the experience of it, this horrible feeling. I had that disappointment feeling. It was with me for like 3 or 4 days. I'm like, oh God, it's never going to go. But I know that I was pulling away, so it won't go. It can't go. Maybe I had to remember stuff. Maybe I had to experience that in me or something. It's there, that sort of cloud of disappointment and that feeling. But until you connect with it and do figure out some actions to allow it to happen, and you were roaring and crying, I connected to it. I'm fine. What is it? I feel you, I feel it. And you connect to thing you don't want. You connect to thing you don't want. And as soon as you do that, it will go. It just goes, just like that. It's like magic. That's why it's so phenomenal. That's why it's changed people's lives. So many people come to me, they're in suicidal states. And I say, right, are you ready to heal? Let me show you. And it's just fabulous, I cry a lot because it's just so touching, to see that people get it. When people get it, it's like, there you go, and they're off and rolling. But yeah, for anything out of alignment, they have to be open to this kind of way. They have to be ready and open. I ask everyone, why did you say yes? What made you go forward? And Virginia, you said something like a feeling, it felt right or something, I found. So I find that's coming through a lot. It's not a practical method. It is a practical method. It's a step action, easy action thing. But people seem to be drawn to this, or drawn to me, or drawn to the method. Or it felt right. I hear that all the time now. So I guess that's just confirming the method itself. It connects to the feeling is where the release is. So from today, what I'd love you to do is anything that you think, oh, that's not nice. The first thing is to notice it, not react to it. The reacting to it is a human behaviour. So notice it. And if you are reacting to it, well, it's okay. At some point go, oh, that's a thing I don't like. I don't like that physical pain, that stress, that relationship thing, that memory. I don't like that thing. How do you get rid of it? You connect with it. You connect with it. It's not always easy, but that's what you do. That's what you do. That's the key of healing. And you might be blocking it, you might have resistance. One lady came into the programme and she said, Althea, I have to tell you, I'm very resistant. Okay.
Good start.
Yeah, but she obviously wanted to do it, and it was, some level, maybe it felt right or something. She said yes. So she was resistant about at least a third way in. And every call we came on, we do these, in the group programme, we have a group call every week. And where I support and guide and teach and everything. And she said, Althea, I'm still resistant. Okay, yeah. So if you are resistant, then that's the thing that you need to meet. That's the block. Where is the block in you? Where's the resistance in you? It's all what is on the tin. There's no ambiguity. What I love about the body is that it never lies. It just says it as it is, or your emotions. And you start with, how does it feel? Describe your problem, and you're already connecting. You're already in a healing state by noticing, connecting, engaging, feeling, describing it. You're in the healing state. you'd done it. So you're already healing. Did you want to say, did you put your hand up? Is there any more questions? Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's probably very hard to say how it compares to other methods. You talk about the method and, your programme, which sounds amazing, and hearing the sort of feedback from Virginia and people. So the whole thing of, listening to your body, talking to your body, listening to your body, and that's really important, that you listen for the feedback or the journey, or there's so many other methods of going into your feelings about what's happening.
So it's not the going into it, it's meeting it where it is. So say for example you've got, have you got any niggles and tension or anything?
No.
So
I did.
What did you have?
I have it maybe every 10 years, 7 years, 6 years. I just have intense pain. I know roughly where it comes from. I don't, I've had an indication, but it's really intense when it's there, and then it's gone, and it's just there's no problem at all. So it's like a...
Wouldn't you like it not to come back?
I would love it not to come back.
Great, so where's recurrent in you? Well, what's all the 7 years about?
It's not just 7 years, it could be 3, it could be 7. It could be...
What's this recurring?
Yes, what's
thing?
recurring?
Or how does... So you can... it's not so it's not a going into anything, you just meet it where it is. So your recurring or full body pain, whatever's got full pain, is like the tip of the iceberg. It's the end result of what's created it. So there's nothing to go into. That's like somebody makes you a pie and you say, well, what's that little bit? And what's that ingredients? And well, can you just eat it, please, and have a nice nibble, So that would be like, it would get in the way of the works. Trying to go into it, understand it, are all...
Be with it.
Be with it, yeah, you be with it, that's right. Yeah,
yeah.
and you can even do it retrospectively or in the future. So it sounds like you're kind of anticipating it. Are you due for a full body pain thing?
No.
Good. So, but it's about 10, 7 years, 3 years.
I
don't know.
I have no idea.
So there's you're
so
expecting
what I'm thinking is the PainFree method could help. It sounds like it helps with
it will
lots
stop
of
it
things.
coming back.
It will stop it from coming back.
Yeah.
So even if it's sort of a few years down the line.
Completely.
Yeah.
So knowing that it's going to come back at some point, there's some kind of connection to it. So
I mean, I always hope it's never going to come back again, because I feel that I've acknowledged it.
But how are you going to get rid of it?
Yeah.
And how do you stop it coming back? That's what the PainFree method is.
Yeah.
So it's not going into anything, it's connecting to it. It makes no logical sense. We can't think the stuff, we have to experience the stuff. Like Virginia, that probably, I find that most people start off the programme and you can see they kind of got it, but they miss it because we're not taught this stuff. We think we've got to get to somewhere, figure something out to get to a result. Nope, none of that. It's so simple. You just meet it where it is. So where is the recurring in you? What's recurring all about? Have you ever had recurring in your life? What's the recurring keeps coming back? What keeps coming back? Never mind the pain, but what's the keep coming recurring thing in you? Or you could even go to the pain itself to say, well, how does it feel when you get it? And as you describe it, you are in a healing, releasing state. That's it. You don't have to understand it. Why? You might like to understand something, but you don't need to. You just meet it where it is. Or maybe you can connect to the worry or the hope that it's not going to come, but that's not going to stop it. Hope is a helpful thing. It puts us into a lighter place, but it's definitely not going to stop things from coming, because there's nothing to stop it coming. That's like trying to be positive, which definitely helps, but it won't make it stop. So that you can connect to where's the hope in you. So you create the hope in you when you connect to the good stuff. So not only does this get rid of your thing you don't want, this stuff coming back, but you stop. You make more of the stuff that you do want, and this is a step 3 thing.
That's sort of the method. I'm just trying to find out what the method is, but you'd have to...
You won't get it, you have to experience it.
Yes, okay, yeah, that was my question.
It won't make sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit with a logic mind.
Yeah.
So it's like, compare it to when you have the message you want to eat, and then you feel hungry and you start looking around for food or start cooking dinner or shopping or whatever. So you're almost there. These are actions we do, but we don't create the hunger feeling. I mean, I guess we do, but the hunger feeling is a kind of a whole package working together that makes you feel hungry. You don't have to understand anything. You might want to understand nutrition and diet and digestion and body, but it's completely unnecessary to the function of what happens. You have the message of I'm hungry, like comes back, I message, and you take the right actions and when you take the right actions, the message goes away. Until next time, right? So it's exactly the same with any pain or problem. Your thing is it comes back, it's recurring, it's really awful whole pain thing. That's the what is it. So the first actions are to connect with it. How does it make you feel when it comes? You're hopeful it doesn't come back. So now you've jumped into the good stuff. You're going to connect to the hope in you. Where's the hope in you? And that will stop it returning. Connecting to what is. It's the connection to it. It doesn't make any logical sense, I'm afraid. How does it differ from other things? It differs because it's you. It's connecting to you, and it's automatic. That's why it's so powerful. So when we do stuff to ourselves, like I was saying right at the beginning, we do the dieting, we do yoga, we do medication or whatever. All of these things can help, but none of them can get rid of the thing. You have to connect to you. You have to align with you, and when you're aligning with you, it's always going to be a good place. Does that make sense?
Well, I think you've given a good effort at trying to explain it, but obviously
It's not
something to
explainable,
be
really.
experienced.
It definitely
Something
is.
to be experienced rather than
That's right.
spoken
What
about,
does it taste like for that dish that you've never tried before? How can I describe it to you?
Yes.
So it's an experiential thing, but basically it gets you free of thing you don't want, and you use it anytime you want it, and it's so simple. It's instantaneous.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Come on to the PainFree experience. I just done one recently. You could do that, or just browse around, get the free guide if you want to have a look at that. It starts leading you into the stages of healing. And the first stage of healing is have the correct mindset. You know, you cannot fix something or detach yourself away from it or suppress it or make it go away. It can't go like that. You have to tune into it, connect with it, and you start off by describing your problem. You're already in a healing state. That is connecting in itself. I know it doesn't make any sense, and sorry I can't make it clear, but it's the experience. What's it like?
Yeah.
Thank you. What's it like describing? What do you get from describing your thing? What's the description? Does it ring bells with you, or like connect with other stuff? Intense. Or where's intense in you? You know, then you're going to follow what comes up. Where's intense in you? What's intense all about? Have you experienced intense in your life? What's that meaning? And you may answer or you may not answer, but and then you go to the next stages of stop it returning and stop it coming back. So those are the 3 steps.
Right. Thank you.
So it's not very clear, is it?
It is.
It is great. Yes.
Now you said this is effective for nerve pain.
Yeah.
Would that include neuropathy?
Anything. Do you want that thing gone? Neuropathy thing gone? Then yes. Anything you don't want, nerve pains, muscle, joint. I'm quite practical girl, so I specialise in nerve, muscles, joints, bones. I love that sort of thing because it's structural and you can feel it straight away if it changes. You know.
Even if that thing is physically damaged and it's been like that for a while?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That rugby guy I was working with, his shoulder popped back into place. Because when you're working with the system of the body knows how to heal. The body knows how, it's always trying to be aligned.
Yeah.
So when you provide the mechanism that can happen, it automatically pings back.
Yeah, no, I understand that would be possible. I mean, if you've got nerve damage and the nerves are actually damaged, is what you're doing actually repairing the nerves?
I don't do anything. I show you how to connect with it, and your body takes over from there. The first action is to know that pain is your damage is a message it wants to be heard. Like the thing coming back is a message it wants to be heard. Like the I'm hungry is a message it wants to be heard. So the correct mechanism is to let go of what you understand about your body, let go of that because it doesn't work. We're in the head. So you have to connect with it. And when you do that, your body is aligned with your mind. And once you when you connect to the damage, you're thinking about it, you're feeling it, You are already in a healing state. And that's what your body wants. Your damaged nerve says, notice me. And you're describing it and feeling it, and maybe put your fingers there, whatever it is. And the more you do that, the more the body says, thanks for listening, and starts its natural balancing, healing thing. I work with people with, as I said, trigeminal nerve, pudendal nerve, damaged nerve pain from an operation. One guy, he said to me, Althea, if you get me pain-free, I'll marry you. I was like, okay. So he did get pain-free. He didn't marry me, but he said, I love you. I said, okay, I'm happy. And he was very, something draws people to me, or to this method. But he was very, like, nearly everybody is very sceptical when they come in to the programme, to me. And it took about 5 or 6 weeks. He said, yes, but Althea, what about this? And then, well, what about that? And then this. And as you go through the journey into you get it, you'll get it. Everybody gets it. And if you don't, there's just resistance. And then you're going to connect with that thing as well. So yeah, he says he's a nicer person. He was taking six painkillers every single day. And by the time the end of the programme, he was taking, I think he took 4 in 7 months in total. And he had severe nerve pain. He said it was beyond the beyond. I can't remember his words, but you know, it's just sounded beyond. And he had to live with that every single day, like so many people. So I've worked with people like the lady with degenerative discs, bone-on degenerative discs. She couldn't stand. And she was standing 2.5 hours later. I don't do anything to you. I show you the actions to come into alignment with you. With you. Your body knows how to heal. Your body heals skin, doesn't it?
Are these specific actions for individuals, or is there a sort of an overarching?
It's exactly the same. It's very straightforward. And the first thing you do is describe your problem. You said it's describe the nerves again. You said it was crushed
sure
or okay. Yeah. So in yourself, describe the thing, and you're already in a healing state, because pain is a message that wants to be heard. Okay, and so the mind likes that kind of information. So now you know it's a message. All it wants you to do is connect with it. It's like if a child was in a room screaming away, you wouldn't say, well, wait till he stops and I'll go in then. You know, would you? So you wouldn't, hopefully. Hopefully you won't. Yeah. So we go in and we say, oh, darling, what's the matter? Ah, what's the matter? Well, you're looking around for the problem and just give him a cuddle and oh, what is it? Is it darling? Oh, no, I can't really understand you, but you know. And as an adult, what are we doing? We are creating a space, a comfort. We are connecting. We are listening. We are consoling. That's what you do to your pain or thing. So to what's happening to your nerves, neuropathy or whatever's going on, the more you describe it, the more you feel it, the more you connect with it, the more it can go, oh, thanks for listening. And it will go. It will go. Like that. Yeah. And if you think it won't, that's what you've got to connect with, because that will stop you getting the results you want. All those layers that's creating the problem. All the layers that creates the problem, how you feel about it, what's it doing to you, how you're responding, what's going in your thoughts. You connect to all of them. So that's why on step 2, the first action of step 2 is to meditate every single day, because that's an aligning action. Aligning is the key, that's it. And this method is a simple practical action, and it's all about aligning, tuning in, aligning, listening, connecting. Connecting to the problem releases it. Remember that bit, that's the most important bit. Would you say that, Virginie? That's about, am I missing something to say to everybody? You've been through it.
I think you are a gift for
humanity
this year. I really think that's amazing.
Thank you so much, sweetheart. We're all guests, we all have things, and we're all here to share what we have, I think. And okay, so I know it doesn't make sense, but connect it, describe your thing, feel it, connect with it, touch it if that feels like wherever it is, and be patient. This stuff works, it's instantaneous, but if it isn't, there's resistance, there's layers there for whatever reason. Okay.
Can I share something before we close?
Yeah.
We had a talk from Althea Finch, whose pain-free method seems quite a cinch. Pain is a message. It wants to be heard, but it has its own language and doesn't use words. We know medicine is a business, but your body heals itself. It doesn't need prescriptions or drugs bought off the shelf. Your body gives you signals. It sets off small alarms, trying to raise your attention to whatever's causing harms. And if you fail to listen and don't heed its many warnings, you might find yourself in pain when you wake up one fine morning. Even eating can be emotional, like stuffing down your feelings, and recognising the pattern can really start your healings. Healing is a process, and you have to face what is, otherwise you'll always be dependent on the pharmacy biz. But drugs will only suppress things and push them further in. You won't hear that alarm bell even unless it makes a din. So it's time to really listen to what your body has to tell. Then you won't need all the stuff the drug companies want to sell. Going from pain to being pain-free is a journey you can take. Start by describing the problems and how it keeps you awake. What are all the challenges? What problems do they cause? Can you see them just as truths and not as bodily flaws? Can you see them as signals? Can you see them as signs? And how life is showing you where you've slipped out of line. And any accompanying, you've nothing to lose but the pain you've got. Right. Some problems are long-standing if the feelings are persistent. And if we keep ignoring them, the problems become insistent. We have to connect with our feelings. What do we have to feel? What's the emotion we're ignoring? And then we can start to heal. So if you want to be pain-free, then you could give this a go. You've nothing to lose but the pain you've got and any accompanying woe.
Lovely.
That's amazing. I've forgotten, you did that at Vogue's show, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You're the lady. I couldn't see your face from that.
She's
Oh
the
my God,
lady.
you're the girl.
That's the
Yeah.
song.
Amazing.
I did a poem at Vogue's thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you did.
That was lovely.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much. That's amazing. There's your delight and skill and gift to the world. Amazing. Thank
One
you.
of them.
So thank you so much, everybody. I
Thank
think
you.
thank you. Welcome. I hope that gives you some hope and inspiration, and give it a go.
Yes.
Get the free guide on my website. Come on to, if you want to just try it out, or you just have a little niggle, try out the experience.